What is up, everybody? My name is Chris Peterson, and we are back with another video. Today we have Mono Green Ramp. I uploaded a video a couple weeks ago. We went 4-1 in that video, so it was pretty successful. Today we are trying out Nylea Keen-Eyed. So I'm kind of just curious to see if Nylea's mana reduction ability or static ability for creatures is relevant in this archetype, and maybe if the mana sink will help us draw out of games where we flood out, or maybe we find our irrelevant cards on top of our deck. So we're going to start off with two of them. The changes to the deck was I cut an Arboreal Grazer and I cut a Golos, because I think Nylea in a 4-drop spot is going to be something that we would play on turn 4. So it's going to kind of replace Golos's game plan just a tiny bit, and the need to accelerate is going to be a little bit better. It's going to be reduced. The need for that is going to be reduced. So by taking out an Arboreal Grazer, we can play a little bit slower. We don't need to get to 5. We can play a 4, and then we can naturally play our 5 with a mana reduction, with or without a land. Before I jump into the league, if you guys have been enjoying the YouTube content, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and hit the like button or leave a comment. It is always appreciated. That's how my channel grows. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the various decks I've been putting up. I'm going to hope to upload at least 3 or 4 videos over the course of the next couple weeks with the new set coming out. So it's been a very exciting time for Pioneer, and with the new set, it is going to be even better. Let's jump into this league. Mono Green Ramp. Alright, so I am assuming that the slight changes to this deck, this is the identical 75 we played 2 weeks ago, with only 2 card changes with the Nyleas. So I really liked the way the deck played with the 4-1. So we are going to try to run it back, and we're going to then see where the meta has changed in Pioneer currently, and then we will make those changes to react to where the format is. If everyone is playing mono white Heliod, we will make changes to the sideboard and to the main deck potentially. But if the format is what it is 2 weeks ago and people are largely just playing the decks that they were, then we will continue to do the same thing. Games might take a little bit longer today. First of all, people are drafting the set. They're looking for those new cards. They're looking to try them out. So standard is going to be, the standard queues are going to be a bit bigger. And then also modern is getting quite the shake-up. So modern might be elongating some of our ability to find games. And last but not least, I mean, it's Friday, my dudes. People are at work, and people are also getting ready to go out tonight and to build and draft and do the pre-release. So the full set release is now out, and I'll be honest, I wasn't too impressed with the overall set. I was a little disappointed that there wasn't more lands. I see that we have 5 temples, and then we got the Labyrinth of Scophus, which is kind of a cool land. If you guys have not seen this land, I will bring it up on the screen. So we got the Labyrinth of Scophus, which is kind of cool. It is a 4 mana, what is that old card? Maze of Ith. So it's a 4, you have to pay 4 mana, but you get to have a Maze of Ith, and it also gets to tap for a waste, which is kind of cool. And then we also have Unknown Shores, which is a common mana fixer. But I would have thought there would be more things to do with Devotion. I am really surprised I'm not finding a game after more than 2 minutes in the queue. So we'll wait till about 2:45. Oh, there it is. All right, let's jump into the game, guys. Putts at the top. If you guys have any questions or recommendations for this deck, right off the bat we get to see a Nylea, but this hand is almost unkeepable. This card is we have no mana acceleration, and you know, if this card was either an Arboreal Grazer or a the Orbos, we wouldn't keep it. So we're going to mulligan. We're not missing either one of those. We will keep this. This is a fine hand. Maybe we'll get rid of this. Looks like blue-white control, which is a good deck for us to come up against. Hopefully it's blue-white control. It could be spirits. Spirits would also be a fine matchup for us. Oh, my man's got gurus. Dang, I don't know if I can beat that. Yeah, it does look like blue-white control with the cycled irrigated farmland. Narset is currently there. Right. We do have a pretty decent game plan because a lot of our big top-end cards, they say cast and not resolve. So we will have cast triggers resolve. We will have cast triggers resolve, and then they counter the card. If there's anything that you guys are currently brewing up, feel free to put it in the comments. I would love to try out some new decks in this format, so feel free to hit me with whatever you guys currently have going on. Settle the wreckage, enter the revealed. So we have two revealeds. It's cast outs and settle. I'm not scared of either one of those cards. We can just play this. Why not? Right. Go here. I could have done the castle to produce a mana so I don't get censored, but I was not expecting a censor, and I can't beat a syncopate anyways. So, such is life. We will attack the Narset to get it off the table. Is he going to Azorius Charm? Nope, seal away. Okay. That is completely fine. World Breakers are always good in this matchup because of the recursive ability that the card has. It also has the ability to break up enchantments. So that would be always a fine card to find. My man's looking for a land. He found it. Well done. Alright, we are flooding out pretty hard right now. We're going to be able to... We have enough lands to cast an Ugin and Ulamog. We can do whatever we'd like. I really hope to top deck an Ugin, or this game might be over pretty quickly. So he's going to now have 3 mana up next turn. Just a little bit tough. And that's rough. Am I playing 60 lands? So we'll get out of this game soon. He has 5 cards in hand, and they're probably all playables. He's going to be doing lots of different things soon. So it is what it is. We flooded out. We mulled a 6, and we kept a 4 land, 2 playables. So but after game 1 we get much better. Okay, there's an Ugin, but it feels really late. I doubt this resolves. We will... Keep on going. Okay. If it resolves, that would be very surprising, but good for us. Yep. So it's not going to resolve, and I think that just to save time, we're going to get out of here. Yeah, that game was over. See, we were going to flood out with our mediocre things near the end of that game. After sideboard, what do we want? We want Thought-Knot Seers, Tireless Trackers. We want things that keep us in the game, elongated a bit, and just prove to be troublesome for my opponent. The Thought Seers are very important for knowing what to play around and knowing what they're kind of doing. In terms of what I'd like to get rid of, what I want to take out, Ugin is problematic to cast because it does deal with a lot of their problematic permanents, but I think we can trim on one of them to just get smaller. I think that just cutting down on a little bit on our top end and getting thinner down here to quickly get onto the board. We do not want to see a duplicate Nylea in this matchup. He does have a lot of ways to deal with it. Cast out to fairies, other things like that. So we will cut one of those. And maybe the last card we'll cut is, I mean, a lot of these cards are very good for us. So why don't we cut a Nissa's Pilgrimage? Just because we're bringing in more 4-drops. So we can play a little bit slower game. A little bit. We don't need to accelerate as fast. Our opponent is going to drag out the game pretty hard. In terms of other things that their sideboard needs, not really. I don't think so. Walking Ballista could be a possibility, but I doubt it. Tireless Tracker I really do like, so maybe we will bring in one of them for an Uvenwald Hydra. Is there any? Cavalier Thorns is really good because it forces my opponent to exile it unless it wants me to get the ability. So, but maybe we're trying to just get smaller, right? Yep, we'll go something like that. Alright, yes, we'll be on the play. This is fine. We'll keep it. We go 1, 3, 5. I said we wanted to get a little slower, but this curve is natural for the deck, and we'll keep it. These are the kinds of hands that our deck really wants, and there is an argument to potentially play the Tireless Tracker here, so we get lots of triggers in the future turns, like the Castle Garenberg. But I like just ensuring that we get to play our 5. We get to play Cavalier Thorns this turn, so. And what we're going to do is we are going. Oh, that Nylea is actually kind of cool too. We can produce 6. So to play around Syncopate for 1, we are going to activate this. And we are going to cast our Cavalier. So we can now pay Syncopate for 1. And that's really good for us. Yep. Put a land card on the battlefield. Let's take this Shrine of the Forgotten God. Or actually... So there's interesting options here. So we can either take the Sanctum, which would be good for us because we can eventually use that. Yeah, let's take the Sanctum. Right. You're losing the mana. Right. So he does have double blue, so he is showing Absorb. We are just going to keep on attack. Let's start off with attacks. So how does this work? We're going to play the Nylea. So we play our Nylea, and we would have 1, 2 up, left, right? And then we can play our Tireless Tracker with our land. So we play the Nylea, 1, 2, 3, 4. We create 6, I'm sorry, so we create 6. We spend 4 of it. We then have 2 left over. Wow, we can actually do quite a few things this turn. So we'll start off with attacks. We're going to attack with the Rejuvenator and Cavalier. And we'll keep back the Elvish Mist. So we're going to start. Actually, what we'll do, little backwards. But if I think my opponent has an absorb, I want him to use it. No absorb. So now we'll play our land. And now we'll play the Nylea. Wait. You could have a syncopate for 2. Okay, he lets that go. Awesome. Yep. So I'm guessing a Supreme Verdict is probably incoming eventually. Like right now. That's fine. So I may put a card back on top of my graveyard. Back on top of my... Yeah, so let's go with this Tireless Tracker. So we're going to start with this. Okay, R3. Then play going to be a little bit of just clicking, managing our clock. Yep. But there is potential for land. So let's do this again. Okay, another land. So we'll be able to activate our Tireless Tracker as much as we'd like. Okay, Teferi. I'll be interested to see what he picks up. Probably that Tireless Tracker. Yep. Okay. I would love to draw like a Cavalier of Thorns or something like that that gives us a lot of devotion so we can try to get out there. Let's start this turn. The Tireless Tracker. Add 2. 4. Now we got to figure out what we actually want to do. The Seagate Wreckage could be cool. The Blast Zone is also interesting in the sense that we could set on whatever number he decides to go to. We already have a Sanctum of Ugin, so I don't think we need a second one. So let's go with a Blast Zone, just to ensure that if there's anything problematic later on in the game, we could eventually deal. And let's cast. And we can't turn it on this turn, so we'll just pass turn. Not a bad turn for us. We do have lots of mana, so Ulamog is now a live draw. So that is something that we could potentially either get with our Sanctum of Ugin. And we'll eventually deal with that Teferi. Instant speed, Supreme Verdict incoming. We'll start with the land. Do this. We'll start with the attacks on the Teferi. He has 6 cards in hand, so he has lots of ways to deal with these things. Settle the Wreckage, Supreme Verdict. Okay. So now we will do this. Okay. Perfectly fine. Second main. Only 4 for a Cavalier of Thorns, kind of cool. There's an Ugin, so if he kills this Cavalier, we'll be able to get an Ugin. Get this for. And activate. Two. Hey, World Breaker for free. Let's go. Nylea has been good this game. Nylea, I would definitely say, is a good card. So far so good. The mana reduction has been decent. The idea last turn was to play out the things in our hand, see what Cavalier revealed, and then we drew a World Breaker with Nylea, so that was quite good. There's a Monastery Mentor, so he is going to try to go wide. Okay. So how much can we mess him up this turn is the question I would have. We have the ability to create 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my goodness. So we'll be able to do literally anything we want. We go something like this. 3. We're going to tap here. So we now have 6. We're going to add another 6. We now have 12. We now have 16. We can have 17 total. Pretty good. Alright, we're going to start with this World Breaker. We want to get rid of this. Yes. I'm going to grab Ulamog. We are now going to craft. So Ulamog will cost 9. Sacrifice this, and we will go grab a Thought-Knot Seer for next turn. This is now resolving. Okay, so he... that was really good. So Nylea's mana reduction definitely helped us there. I think we still would have been able to do it, but she ensured that... I mean, we had so much mana. That was insane. All right, so... Our man has a Monastery Mentor as a win condition, which is terrifying. We are going to be dealing with a lot of problematic permanents. Golos, so I want to make more cuts to the deck. Nylea felt really good there, guys. She was just doing a lot. She survived the Supreme Verdict, so you know what? I'm going to bring the second one in. guys, she's good. All right. In terms of what we want to do, let's take out another Nissa's Pilgrimage and 2 Arboreal Grazer because it only puts lands from our hand into play and it doesn't actually attack or create mana by itself. So we're going to try cutting those 2. We are then going to put in... Oh man, I really want to have a creature kill spell, but not... Facial Contortion is just so awkward sometimes. But if that is their primary win condition and they get it down early, that is going to be problematic for us. So let's go with Tireless Tracker, Walking Ballista. I still only want 3 Ugins, I think. It is expensive. They can counter it. I'd rather mess with them in a number of other ways. And Facial Contortion is... It's like, do we want this Facial Contortion? And maybe we do want 1 in the deck. We'll bring in 1. 1 Spatial Contortion. I don't want to see it until late in the game, until after he casts it. But I do want access to it somewhere in the 60. So let's try this. This looks like a decent hand to me. It is slow. So that is the biggest issue with this hand. But it does do some pretty powerful things that our opponent will be forced to interact with, right? So we'll keep it. And all the Castle Garen Briggs. That is a good draw. Alright, so he's got 2 mana up. So let's play our Radiant Fountain. He has 2 life. Now play our Tireless Tracker. You could syncopate it. Aether Gust. Let's put this on top. So Aether Gust is an interesting card because it's a tempo card, right? It doesn't actually counter it, it just delays the game. So Aether Gust against me, I don't know if I actually like. I could be wrong in saying this, but Aether Gust, what it's ultimately doing... Why would he... That's aggressive. What it's ultimately doing is... It's trying to slow down the game, which I guess he wants to do, but like I'm also slowing down the game myself. But let's go with a Radiant Fountain. Cast this Thought Knot. Oh, I saw what he did. Okay. So he Aether Gusted, I put it on top, and then he shuffled my library. Got it. Kind of a neat play. He's got lands, Azorius Charm, and Absorb. We're gonna take this Absorb. Sofa King Warm Buddy, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. I guess I can let this resolve. But anyways, hopefully you're enjoying the content. If you have any questions or if you want to maybe tell me what your favorite format and maybe favorite deck of all time is, feel free to do that. So he immediately casted this Monastery Mentor. So I want to quickly get it off the table as quickly as possible. If I play a forest, I can play out the Uvenwald Hydra, which is probably where we need to go. Okay, so let's figure this out. He has an Azorius Charm that he can cast and 2 lands. I do believe it is playables. He is going to be able to make 1 token, but I think that we can just try to out-resource him. So let's try to do that. Alright. Yes, we will use this ability. We have 5 lands currently. So I almost want to get a Sanctum of Ugin. We are 2 turns away no matter what from playing this. Ooh, so if actually, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we get a Shrine next turn, we're playing at 7, and then we'll have 8. Okay, so I figured it out. I did the math. I almost messed up. All right, and let's. Is he going to put this on top? Okay, so he's going to be able to draw a card. That's okay. Hopefully the Ugin will just come down and just clear up everything. He's tapping out. Oh, Teferi. Okay. That is also okay. Yep. So, as long as he didn't draw... Does he have 2 unknowns? 1 unknown, right? So we knew about the... Is it Castle Ardenvale? I think that these are... I think that we don't know about... So Castle Ardenvale, maybe 2 unknowns? Alright. Let's see if we get to resolve this Ugin Spirit Dragon and get out of here. We get there. Verdict is no. Does he really have it? Oh no. No, 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 no. Don't do it. But oh, come on. Come on. Just let it resolve. We're fine. No. Stop. Stop. Oh, he drew the syncopate for 1. What a bummer. All right, well done. That's pretty sad. I mean, I could have gone with the Thought-Knot Seer, but I thought I would just try to get this down as quickly as possible, give him less outs, give him less turns to try to dig himself out of it. But he naturally drew one of his counter spells in one of the top cards, so it is what it is, though. I think that's a thing that we go for almost every time. And an Ugin still gets us out of this, so we're still fine. So a second Ugin, we still have 2 in the deck. So we'll be able to play 2 blockers this turn, correct? We can play... Yep, okay. So we will start off by making... Right. Add absorb. Okay. All the triggers. Okay. He went off. Let's do this Ugin One Hydra. Yes, we will use the ability. Let's grab need right now? Maybe some life? Alright, there's a good chance that we are just dead, and that's okay. I think that going for the Ugin was the correct play. It did not turn out well for us, but I think that by playing the Thought Seer, we are giving him more turns to try to get out of it. He's gonna get us good. He's got one card left in hand. We just dead. So this is 10. It's like 12. Yep. All right, we're gonna take 15. Right. Make sure he attacks with all. I'm sure he will. He is still going off. Okay, okay, give me a second. I'll kill myself. Gosh. All right, here we go. On to game 2. The game 1 was match 1 was a little tough. It was unfortunate that my opponent had the counter spell for the Ugin. We could have been a little bit more conservative, but getting the Monastery Mentor off the table as quickly as possible and giving him less of a chance to get out of it. There is probably people who would say, no, you shouldn't have done that. Yes, you should have. And at the end of the day, I think that going for the powerful play when there's only 2 unknowns, so he's had 2 draw steps, and there are so many dead cards in his deck, and there's maybe less than 10 counter spells, probably even significantly less than that. We'll keep this. We have some acceleration, and if we draw any big payoff card, we're in there like swimwear. Alright. Turn 2, Elvish Rejuvenator. Turn 3, Llanowar Elf. I'm in. Oh, there we are. Payoff card. Found it. Told you guys we'd be there. Is this mono black aggro? No, it must be mid-range. Mono black mid-range. Desecration Demon. Oh boy. That's spectacular. Alright. Let's just get this Ubenwald Hydra. We use the ability. And in terms of lands, let's go with one of our mana. Actually, let's go with Lasso. Nice idea. Nope. Boy. Alright. Where are we at? Okay. Golos is very good. Let's start off. We have the ability to make 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with a land. So spell mastery is So Spell Mastery is not here, so rest here. Go here. We'll grab the Cascading. And now we will grab okay. In there. Dude, take 9. I got. Alright. It's pretty good, take 9. Holy shnikey. 4? Is he going to Vraska's Contempt. Well done. Okay. He's getting in there. I like it. I like it. I like it. Is there any way we can kill him this turn is the question. Does that start it off? Alright, so here. Oh, we have an Ugin that we can sacrifice. Holy shnikey, let's go. And these 2 World Breakers are also just insane. Let's go with oh man, did I mess up by tapping one of these? I could probably do the World Breaker this turn, couldn't I? Sacrifice a land, so 3 mana to sacrifice a land. I would be close to get him back. Alright, so we'll do that maybe at the end of my turn. We're gonna get in for 11 here. Ayara, what? Alright. Well, he's dead now, correct? Sacrifice a creature, so we'll sacrifice this. Get back the Ugin. Dead, right? Yep. Okay, so not much you could have done there, but we get the win. Nevertheless. Right, let's eke the value, right? And we would love to fight him. So let's take out an Ugin. In terms of mana dorks, he's going to be able to slow us down, but we are ultimately the bigger and better deck. So we are okay with playing as slow a game as possible. So I almost want to turn off his spot removal, like his fatal pushes that he's going to obviously keep in. We could almost cut all of these, and these Nissa's this would be questions. This is where they'd start. But what happens if we bring in the Voracious Hydras are a good question. I'm not sure if that's correct. And maybe we're supposed to have some number of these. So like, I know these are a lot of cards and we're gonna make cuts. But in terms of bring this down for you guys. Bring this over. So in terms of cuts right now, what I'm thinking is I want to be able to beat him going long. He's not going to play an aggressive game. He's going to try to, just play his 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana spells that are very powerful and do lots of things. So maybe we'll make one cut here. Maybe we will make a Nissa's Pilgrimage cut to win. And in terms of the other cards in the deck, let's try cutting one Uvenwald Hydra. We do like being able to kill his thing. We'll take out 2 Uvenwald. We're going to play a really slow game. And maybe we'll leave in one. This is going to be weird. Every hand that we keep, probably in game 2 and game 3, is going to look slow. But I'm okay with that. If this deck is going to naturally try to slow us down, I am now trying to make his cards irrelevant. So this is a 1-land hand. We can't keep it. We're going to mulligan. So now this is 2 lands with an Elf Rejuvenator. We will keep this. And we will bottom. Okay. Good for us. So now we are blanking every bit of his spot removal. So his Fatal Pushes now have to be turned on to be purple. Okay, very cool. I don't know why I turned my head to read it. Sometimes it's like in real life. Let's go here. So we're going to lead with the Elvish Rejuvenator, unless he rips apart our hand. Ayara, okay. Eventually just... So, this is coming together quite smooth. Grab a second force so we can turn on our Garenberg. Our Voracious Hydra with another land could fight and kill this Ayara, so that might be ultimately what we end up doing. Dreadshade, oh what a card. Okay. So we did not get a land, so let's just play what we can. I hate how Urborg does that to your lands. It's so difficult to work around. Oh, what we got? Alright, so we made the Fatal Push irrelevant. The cast down he's going to be able to use on the Thought-Knot Seer. He has 3 lands. So he's going to have this Never. So I could exile that and get rid of those 2 abilities. He's going to be able to kill this no matter what. So I am tempted to just go with the Never Return, just so he can have 2 sides of a card. But the cast down is more efficient. But let's go with the Never. We're gonna just take some of this damage. Okay, so what I really want is I would really love a land so our Castle Garenberg can turn on. There it is. Alright. So now we can cast this for 4 and fight either one of these that we choose. Plays tons of kill spells, so we're just going to fight. I think we probably get rid of this Ayara, but this Dreadshade is going to eventually be a problem. I think so. Maybe we actually do get rid of the Dreadshade. It just makes dealing with combat very difficult. Alright, so now if we draw a land next turn, we can double cast our Tireless Tracker, and then we can play our land and get 2 triggers. Oh man, that's awkward. Nice Fatal Potion. We will take 4. Another Gifted Aetherborn. Okay. So that series isn't bad. It does hold down the fort at least for a while. Or I could cast double Tireless Tracker or a singular Thought on Seer. So let's go with double Tireless Tracker. We'll start there. Just having 2 blockers right now, while my opponent is quickly killing us. He's a little lower to the ground than I was expecting. I'm not sure exactly what I was expecting, but he's just lower. Oh, he has the Gray Merchant, which could kill us if he draws a land. So if he draws a land, we're just dead. Nice. Block like that. Thought Seize. Okay. He's going to be able to take out the Thought Not Seer. Took an Ugin. Really interesting. Awesome. He left the Thought Not Seer. I wonder if that was a misclick. Oh wait, what did I do? 2, 3, 5, 6. So actually I don't want to do this, right? Wait. Or activate abilities of creatures. So never mind, we can't. No, I'm activating the ability of the clue. Okay, so we got to undo this. That was almost a mistake. So we just have to naturally cast this. It should be Gray Merchant and Obnixilis are the 2. We got to take the Gray Merchant, and we have to try to deal with the Obnixilis if we see it. Hold on the fort. And what we'll do is if he attacks with the Gifted Aetherborn, we'll draw a card before anything else happens. So we may be blocking if he attacks with both things. Let's draw first. If we draw a land, then I would be tempted to block. Or not block. Okay, so we drew a Hydra. So we are not going to... So... Even if we draw a land, we are... So even if we draw a land, we are casting the Ugin and having to get rid of it. So right now we're just probably minimizing the amount of damage that we're taking. So... Spatial Contortion is very good. It'll enable us to 100% for sure cast the Ugin next turn. And in terms of what we are going to do with our Ugin after that. So if we get another shrine, we're at 9. And then we have the... This is interesting. We need another land. So we have to get shrine, right? Or no, we can get Sanctum of Ugin and then break it for a Ulamog, right? 2. No, we'd only have 7. So let's just get another shrine just to produce all the mana. My man's at 30 life. If you want to lose more than 1, I'm okay with that. Okay. So, start here. We could almost immediately start ticking up on the Ugin. If we Spatial Contortion the Ayara, we can then use Ugin to... Does it deal 3 damage to any target? Okay. So actually, let's... 1, 2. We have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we can attack him for 8 to try to quickly turn the tides. So why don't we do that? Spatial Contortion here. Ugin picking up on the Obnixilis. Attacking him for 8. So that was probably... it enables our Ugin to ultimate faster and be at a higher loyalty. So if he doesn't have a Planeswalker Destroy spell, it is going to be a much better way to get about this. What I'm going to do here. Each player sacrifices 2. Okay. So I don't think that was the choice to make. I mean, who am I? like an ultimate next turn. Like Seagate Wreckage. We can draw a card. Go. All right. So we won the game. I'm kind of curious what those 7 cards would have been. You might have I mean, you never know what you're gonna. Okay, so it would have been a second Ugin. That was pretty good. All right. So we are now 1-1 with this deck. It was very powerful against the mono black deck. Slowing the game down did ultimately work out for us. We changed everything that we were doing, and we just became a bigger mid-range deck than my opponent, and it worked out for us. Tegan time. Play first. The one line. We will keep this awkwardly. Keep. Bottom. Forest. I mean, there's so many decks in the format that play Forest that my opponent has no idea what's going on yet. Okay. So we can cast these World Breakers with 1 more land. Waste of Resurgence, okay. Looks like green, white, good. I've played against this deck before. It's actually not bad. We already have a castle in hand, so let's go for the shrine. So this turn will be next turn we'll be casting Cavalier Thorns. The following turn we'll be casting hopefully a World Breaker into a World Breaker, and hopefully that'll just end the game. That's better than what my opponent is going to be doing. Naturally, this deck preys on the green-white fair decks. They don't go big enough, or they don't attack aggressively enough for them to win this matchup very often. So I'll be able to quickly establish a board presence against them, and then I will be able to overtake them with time. So unless my opponent is playing like green-white Heliod and he has the combo, this game should be pretty easy. And like the Voice of Resurgence ability is irrelevant against me. So I do naturally prey on this deck, so waiting my opponent. Still just waiting on my opponent. His timer is going, so sadly, we might be here a little bit. All right, there we go. Back in it. Okay. We're not gonna block. We will let that go through. Scavenging Ooze, what a card. Right. Llanowar Elves was a great draw for us. Can go Cavalier. Nylea is now in the graveyard. So let's figure out how we want to do this. We have Radiant Fountain, Sanctum, Forest. The Sanctum of Ugin is going to be able to break with these World Breakers, so maybe we do get the Sanctum. We don't really need the life anymore. Yep. It is absolutely understandable. And unless my opponent has a removal spell for this Cavalier, it is just going to be a brick wall. Oh, so my man might be playing the combo. Alright. But we are insulated against the combo with this World Breaker, so brilliant. And we will get an ooh. Let's attack. So, just another reason why mono green is going to be good against the changes that this format is going to undergo with the Heliod combo entering the format. Being able to exile Heliods naturally with World Breakers in the main. Maybe you up the number of World Breakers you play to quickly deal with them. Yep, so he did have the combo. Look at that. What crazy. So he's gonna get rid of my... Okay. Can make 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got it. Cast the Sulamog and go from there. Oh, we win the game. So like I said, we are naturally good against this deck. We deal with it in a very natural way. Let's go with 3 Thought-Knot Seers to just lower our curve. Cavalier of Thorns is going to be good. Let's get rid of these Ovenwalds and maybe an Ugin to trim. And let's get rid of... Really like Ugin, but at the same time he does have... He's going to have to apply himself to the board pretty aggressively. Maybe it is a creature deck, so we go something like... Maybe we take out 1 more of these. We just become a thinner deck. Let's actually take out the Ovenwalds, because I think Cavalier is a little bit better. It's cheaper, not quite as big, but it does do a very similar effect for us. So now we are a more linear deck. Tireless Tracker could be a good card, but I think that once we establish dominance, we will naturally end the game quickly, and our opponent will have very little to say about it. So I don't think Tireless Tracker is quite necessary for our deck or our game plan again. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Do me a favor and let me know what decks you guys have been having success with, or what you guys have been considering playing. You will. We have a way to interact with early aggression, and then we can also Thought on Seer the combo out of his hand. Ugin to clean it up. Very good hand. Yeah. We'll probably spatial contortion. Actually, interesting. We have no way to cast spatial contortion right now. So what we will do is we will just cast our own Lana World. We also don't have a way currently to cast this Thought Knot Seer. Weird. We don't play Wastes. There's Walking Ballista for 2. Okay. Look through it. You can't do this for 2 turns, I believe, so we will start here. Alright. There's Hellion. Okay. So if we have to spatial contortion the Walking Ballista. If we do so, we're susceptible to a second Walking Ballista off the top if he has a land. So he has to have a Walking Ballista and land off the top to kill us. But maybe what I'll do is I'll let him spend some of his mana so he can't do it immediately. Over here. Because I want him to... We still can't even do it next turn. No, he could. So I'll let him put mana into it. I see what he's doing. Got it. In combat, I'll go after it. Yep. Here's another one. Oh no. Oh! And I drew the right card off the top to be able to deal with it because I am the best. No, that was lucky. All right. So let's start off with Thought here. See what he has going on. He has another one. What a guy. He has Phyrexian Revoker and Eldritch Evolution. All right, let's get the third Walking Ballista out of here, and then Spatial Contortion here just to deal with it. Gosh, guys, he had 3 Walking Ballistas, and I somehow managed to deal with all 3 of them. That's unlikely. I feel very lucky right now. Not gonna lie. Okay. What's he getting? Maybe an Eternal Witness or some sort of effect like that. Tireless Tracker. Alright, he's gonna grind me out. Oh, he never played the interesting. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7. So I do not have enough to play the Sanctum. I don't have enough to play the Ugin yet. Play this. Okay. Grab a Shrine. So now we can Ugin and then also get an Ulamog, and we'll hang back on defense. So the last card is a Phyrexian Revoker. And Revoker is good, but we'll still get to break the Sanctum when we cast the Ugin, and then go from there. Archangel of Thune. Wow. So this is a little bit different strategy than I was anticipating for my opponent. I cast both of these. So we can create 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana this turn. So that is not enough to cast both of these. So we will just cast in first. Keep up 2 colors. Yes. We'll then get a Ulamog. Resolve. And we will 5. Get in there. Alright. So as predicted, like I said at the beginning of the match, as soon as he played the Voice of Resurgence, I had a feeling that this game was not going to go well for him. This green ramp naturally beats like green mid range or even like green white combo. So we played out the game. we ended up getting there 2-0. So we are now, after our 1-2 loss in the first round, we are now 4-0 against our last two opponents, and that was against Blue Way Control in the first round. So the deck is showing lots of strengths. What I would say that the deck does seem to do, the two changes with Nylea are not big changes, but what Nylea does do, we saw in the first game, we actually won a game with Nylea against the Blue Way Control, where the mana reduction was relevant. But anytime I playtest a new card, I try out a new card for the first time, I'm not going to put 7 of the copies in the deck, or a full playset, right? So like, you're not going to like overdo it. So you're just going to play just enough to get like a taste of what's to come. So there might be an argument to play only 1. There could be an argument to play 3 if you find that, you know, she drastically changes the way the deck can play. But as of right now, I mean, she's strong. She's very strong. I want to keep this, but with my opponent on the play, this is a very scary hand if we don't see a third land. We are playing 28 land, so let's keep it. See what happens, guys. This is kind of a sketchy hand. Okay. My opponent playing ramp. I really hope within the next 2 turns we see this is going to go downhill very quickly. I do believe that we have mathematically over 50% chance of getting a. So there's actually, so it's almost exactly. So there's 52 cards in our deck. There's 26 lands left in the deck, so we have exactly 50% chance of drawing either a land or a card. If we draw a playable card, then the turn after that we will have almost 100%, or we will have a higher than 50% chance of drawing a land. So we will go 50% into like 52. So I like our chances. Oh, is he just comboing off pretty please? This is mono green devotion, but my opponent has it foiled out. This is nutty. Alright, so wow. We now have both Nyleas in hand. Alright. So mono looks like mono green devotion. Okay. So it's netting. It's paying for itself right now if you use. There's Sirach, okay. Aggressive start. So mono green devotion is different than mono green mid range because it has a more aggressive hinge to it. Alright, so we did hit it, but even with this, still just might be dead. We need to get to Ugin before he kills us. So next turn we'll go Uvenwald Hydra into, and then the following turn we'll go Ugin. Oh, Schneike, we can't deal with that. I think we're just dead, friend. Yep. Alright, we can get out of here. We will get out of here. Alright, begin sideboarding. Thought Knight's here. Facial Contortion isn't big enough, and I think Voracious Hydra has to be in here too. So maybe these 5 cards. And in terms of our cuts, Ugin, Breaker, trimming on our expensive with Night. And we'll keep on ramping. So we want to stick to our game plan. We need to do our game plan as fast as possible, and we just need to diversify how we get there or what we're doing in Alright. Play first. I like this hand because it fights. Not till turn 4, but the ability to fight ever is going to be good. So we have a removal spell and we have a ramp spell, so I think we did not want to draw lands off the top, but here we are. Champion. Pretty good. Another Voracious Hydra, so in the following turns we will be able to clear the board. Might just have to make like a giant 8/8 or something like that to block what our opponent's doing. But play a Sirach this turn. Give it haste. Oh, the Great Henge. Okay. Hard. Kind of cool. Pretty much ensures he'll never run out of things to do. So, alright, so what are we looking at? If we play a forest and then Nissa's Pilgrimage, the next turn these Voracious Hydras are very, very scary. If we play a forest this turn, the problem is that we're taking a lot of damage next turn. And if he has a Sirach, we're taking even more damage. So I'm half tempted just to play a 6/6 and say it's okay. So let's try that and then maybe see where it goes. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I could also play. I can Nissa's Pilgrimage and Voracious Hydra for like 2 or 1, and then fight this. Great. Does seem like a winning play. So we need to make winning plays here. So in terms of what a winning play looks like, I mean, it's tough, right? So we need to probably hope for an Ugin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4. Maybe we do need to Nissa's Pilgrimage this turn and hope for an Ugin off the top. I think that's a winning. I think anything else, we're just playing a game that we're losing ultimately over time. That's tough. And we still might just be dead. A Sirach, along with something else, just kills us, right? Five mana. Holy shnikey. What's up, Nissa? So this does reinforce the decision to do what we said. Deal 11 turn. Oh, if he has a Sirach, we're dead, right? Oh, just another. So we need to draw an Ugin off the top to make that decision a payoff. Anything else, we're just dead. Irrelevant. Oh, there is a Sirach. Holy crap. He had everything going on. That hand was very, very strong for my opponent. There's very little I could have done about that. Like, this is turn 4. This is his turn 4. He's missed a land drop, and he's managed to put all of these things out. So my opponent is an aggressive combo heavy mono green deck. So, well done. Even if I make a 6/6 this turn, oh, I'm not dead. Ugin! Ugin! Oh no, no! Darn it. Okay. I think we're just dead no matter what. Even if we play that Radiant Fountain, friends, he has just gone way too wide. Ugin would have been good. It would have been the card. Right, next card, right? It's always the next card. Next card. Or the next. Okay, so it was like 3 down. Alright, let's see if we can get that 3-2 with this mono green in this unknown Pioneer format that we now exist in. I do enjoy what we're doing. That mono green ramp deck I don't think had any new tools from the new set, so that we saw. Absolute rage. This is not a hand that I can keep. This is not a hand I can keep either. This is better. And we now need to put 2 cards on the bottom. One and this one. This is interesting. Still a bad hand. Oh, there's new lands. Nice. Oh, is this that combo deck? And these lands look like Pokemon cards. I heard someone else say that. I think this is that combo, right? I need some sort of mana acceleration right now. Not a mana accelerant. We are stuck. Alright. What are you doing over there? Dude, my opponent is going off. Yep. We need a land off the top. Pretty please. Kind of a land, but not really. Could even not, like, if, right? Oh! I spoke it into existence. I said, oh, I could whiff too! Oh my goodness, I spoke too soon. There's a Sirach. Dude, it's gonna give itself haste. It's gonna keep on just... Dude, he's got all day. Fuck there. Does this have trample? Nope. Okay. Cool. 3 mana to gain 4 life. I'm so dead. Oh my goodness, deck. Alright. Stop. Stop. I'll kill myself. Goodness sakes alive. Alright. Let's go, deck. We were doing so well for so long. We have 5 cards we want to bring in, so maybe we sideboard similarly to how we did against that combo deck. Trim almost everywhere. Maybe we leave Cavalier in. Take out 1 Nylea. This looks fine. trying to get low to the ground and being able to block. All right. See how it works. This is probably too slow, so let's mulligan. This is also too slow, so let's mulligan. Man, what are these hands? I want to go to 4. Keep. Get rid of here. Here. There's argument to keep the Seagate Wreckage because we're going to empty our hand, but if I miss land drops, then I want to be able to at least power out some of these shrines. Maybe I should have kept the Seagate. Wow, what a draw. Thanks, deck. Rock incoming, right? Arboreal Grazer, this is one of the reasons why this is like one of my favorite cards in the deck. Sometimes it does nothing. And we are 2 lands away from Cavalier, so we need to draw a green source for Thought-Knot Seer and then a green source for Cavalier. Yep. Holy shnikey. Yep, so my opponent comboed off. I sideboarded similarly, but wasn't able to get there fast enough. And I think that we are dead. Because nothing else matters in his hand, right? Like, he got the Galta onto the board. And what a perfect hand. And he has still had 2 lands. Leaf, okay. We're going to see what we can do. I don't think there's anything we can do against this deck right now. Yep. Alright. So friends, a little unlucky, a little unfortunate how that wound up. We went get a strong middle of the event, and we puttered out our final 2 rounds. We definitely mulliganed. The cards my opponents were playing were just naturally good against us. There's a lot of lands hiding below. But anyways, so friends, to wrap up this video, is mono green going to be good in the format moving forward? I think so. It naturally preys on mid-range decks because it is like the biggest of mid-range decks. But what I will say is that we lost to 2 aggressive combo-ish green decks. We lost to, and we beat one of them. We beat the combo green white deck, but then we lost to the 2 aggressive green devotion decks. So this deck was unable to establish itself on the board. I also mulliganed in the final game to 5 both games, which was really unfortunate. And I also think the sideboard needs tweaked. I think that we need more interaction and maybe more ways to deal with the board state. So that might mean that there's a different color coming in, or maybe just different sideboard cards to deal with different permanents and different problems. Because especially dealing with a 12-12, this deck doesn't do it well. Especially a 12 converted mana cost, so Ugin can't even touch that. So it was really unfortunate. I really did enjoy the first 3 rounds of this league. I thought that this deck showcased exactly why it was relevant in the old format, and I think that after that, we just saw the development of the format to showcase where the current weaknesses are in the format. So if everyone's trying out these new cards and these new decks, these combo heavy 12-12 trample decks are going to just come through and wipe them up. So it definitely makes sense why we lost to those, because we were playing a late game or even a middle of the format deck against a new format. So I think that maybe in a couple weeks, when people figure out how to beat these aggressive new decks, or maybe these combo decks or whatever, I think that maybe mono green ramp will rise once again to be dominant. But as of right now, guys, play your combo decks, play your aggressive decks, and have fun, and just wait for the format to shake out. I personally will probably not play mono green ramp for several weeks or even a month. So we're gonna let the format figure itself out, and we're gonna go try out a bunch of other new cards. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please, please, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. And as I always say, if you guys want to come by and visit me on twitch.tv, my username is RexChrisP, just like it is on my YouTube channel. So please feel free to come by, hang out, say hi, and as always, I hope you guys have an excellent weekend. Pre-release is happening, and guys, thank you so much for hanging out. All right, bye.